funny thing about listening to your favorite oldies, it only takes a split second and you know exactly what station you're listening to. Just one split second and you feel good. We're 96 FM.
FM 96, the place to relax.
दिन हो या रात, जियो कश्मीर आपके साथ. जियो कश्मीर 96 FM कोटली.
Assalamu alaikum listeners, this is Mudassar again with the program. We are talking to the MPs of British Parliament. Today we are privileged to have Mr. George Galloway with us online, speaking live from London. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Galloway.
Walaikum salam, it's an honor to talk to you.
Same here. Let me first congratulate you on the Hilal Qaid-e-Azam. That is the recognition that as a Pakistani government and the Pakistani nation, we really appreciate a positive role and a justified role that you are playing for the Kashmir.
Thank you. It's my duty. It's my duty to do so because the Kashmiri people are the victims of one of the greatest historical injustices. And it's my duty to stand by the victims of such injustice.
Mr. Galloway, what is your personal view about this Kashmir issue, if we started from the beginning?
Well, you know, colonialism, when it is in place, is responsible for many crimes. But when it decolonizes in a way which is so fundamentally unjust, as the British decolonization of India was, it's bound to leave scars. And it's livid and vivid scars which they have left in the form of Kashmir. They promised that they would allow self-determination for the constituent parts of what was India. And they robbed the people of Kashmir of this right. And for all these years now, 60 years, the Kashmiri people have been asking for nothing more than the right to put an X on a piece of paper, which would allow them to determine their future. And not only did the United Nations hand this more than half a century ago, but the Indian government of Mr. Nehru accepted the United Nations demand that they should do so. And lesser men and women than Nehru have reneged on this promise, leaving these millions of people in occupied Kashmir in a kind of limbo which has been brutally imposed by a huge army of occupation, the biggest concentration of military force anywhere in the whole world is in the held, occupied part of Kashmir, and tens of thousands have died, been incarcerated, been exiled, been disappeared, been tortured, and even raped as an instrument of holding down the people of Kashmir and denying them their inalienable right to self-determination.
Mr. Galloway, at the moment it's a unipolar sort of thing for each and every decision. Has the British government played its due role for the support of Kashmiri's right of self-determination, you think?
No, and to expect them to would be to expect the Count Dracula not to drink blood. The British government are part of the problem. The British imperial state is the cause of this problem, and it is unlikely to be positive in its solution. There was a brief moment at the beginning of the Labour government in 1997 when Robin Cook, the then British Foreign Secretary, now alas deceased, made a shift in British government policy towards a fairer stand on Kashmir. This was the result of lobbying I myself had been involved in, and which had been spearheaded by Mr. Wajid Shamsul Hassan, now again I'm glad to say, the Pakistan High Commissioner in London. But this was all destroyed when the Benazir government was overthrown, and when the traitors who came to power opened the books of the Pakistan embassy in London to the enemy and ruined this whole lobbying exercise. Inshallah, we'll be able to begin work again now to try to move Kashmir up the international agenda. But you shouldn't have high hope of anything positive coming from London.
Yeah. I was speaking to Alan Keane yesterday, and he said that all the Kashmiris, actually all the subcontinent community, they all live together in United Kingdom, and they never hear much about Kashmir from anybody. Do you think he's right?
Well, he's right today. He wasn't right 10 years ago when we mobilized thousands of people on a national lobby of the British Parliament, for example. We mobilized hundreds of people to go to Europe, to Brussels, to lobby the European Parliament, and we held rallies and meetings in the community all over Britain. So 10 years ago, we did succeed in putting Kashmir back on the agenda. Destroyed a gentleman called Saifur Rahman, who betrayed all of us, including me, and demobilized us. He broke our legs by his betrayal of the national interest. But I hope that Mr. Hassan is now back in situ in the High Commission. And I hope that we may be able to pick up some of the campaigning efforts again.
So you are saying that 10 years, so it means that all the regime that we have before this, during this, nothing was done much on this side.
Well, I'm
in Pakistan.
sorry to tell you that the regime you've had in the last decade has been more interested in pleasing the colonial power rather than contesting the dreadful results visited on the subcontinent by those colonial powers.
Mr. Galloway, what is your honest thinking about the role of Kashmiris themselves? You can't think about the role of others for more than what Kashmiris have to do themselves.
Well, I think that's a very good point. There is a tendency in the community to wait for others to do the campaigning. This is not a mistake the other exile communities make. The Jewish community in Britain is overwhelmingly pro-Israel, and they're very busy in making sure that the British government's policy remains pro-Israel. Irish people in Britain, many other minorities in Britain, recognize that the first priority is to organize themselves and to act themselves as one hand, united. And I think that the Pakistani and Kashmiri community have something to learn in that regard.
Mr. Galloway, thank you very much for your time. I was told that you won't be able to give more than 15 minutes today, but there is a Martyrs' Day coming up on 13th of July, which is, again, it's a black day in the history of Kashmir. Would you like to make some comments on that?
Well, I wish to send to all my friends in Pakistan and in Kashmir my solidarity, my faithful support, which has never wavered, even when Mr. Saifur Rahman almost put me in jail for my support for the Kashmiri people. I never wavered, and I promise to do my best with the breath that God gives me to continue to put their arguments in every forum I can.
And have you ever visited any part of Kashmir, Mr. Galloway?
Yes, I've been to Azad Kashmir many times, and the Indian government has refused me permission to visit the occupied Kashmir, which I wear as a badge of honor, along with my Hilali Qaid-e-Azam and my Hilali Pakistan.
That's great. And is there any plans in the near future that you are coming to Pakistan and Kashmir?
Inshallah, I'll be there within the next few months.
Next few months, okay. And then you are definitely coming to our station and talking live to the people here.
It would be an honor.
Thank you, Mr. Galloway. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Khuda Hafiz. Bye-bye.
It's community radio.
96. More music, more of the time.